Welcome to Is That Covered? The program where we take a look at interesting situations and try to imagine how insurance would respond to them. In this episode, we're going to take a look at a incidence of road rage that happened recently in Houston. Two men in a car had an encounter with a man and a woman who were in a truck. They argued for a while, then got back into their cars, but the woman decided she wanted to have the last word. She got a drink to the head in response. That caused the man in the truck to get out and then proceed to kick the car, which then emptied the car and a fight broke out. After a few moments, the fight broke up a little bit and everybody proceeded to get back into their own cars. But the truck again decided they wanted the last word and reversed and rammed into the car. Both vehicles then sped off. All right, welcome everybody. We're with the Paul Lytle Agency in Fulshear, Texas. Welcome to the very first episode of Is That Covered? And what we're normally going to be doing is looking at different events, accidents in TV shows and movies and other media, and kind of picking it apart take these very unrealistic events and put them in the realm of reality and kind of give an overview of whether insurance would step in one of these cases and cover that. But to start off the series, we're going to do something completely different because we actually had our first episode planned.
Yes.
And then this weekend in Houston, a video went viral about a road rage incident. Where the people actually got out of the car, had a fight, ran into each other, and we thought this would be a really good occasion to kind of take a look at the insurance side of things. Now, we're always going to have a disclaimer at the beginning of our videos that what we say on here is no promise to cover any sort of claim that might have similar circumstances, but we want to doubly reinforce that this time because this is a real event and not some scene from a movie or a TV show. We're going off of what we saw in a video, but as you know, when these things happen, there are 100 other different circumstances going on, and any one of those might actually change our opinion on coverage or not. So, if you have a claim, the best thing to do is to get it to your adjuster and see if there's coverage in that case. Now, most of the event is not really going to concern us from an insurance point of view.
Right.
People yelling at each other is not generally a topic for insurance, but when we get to the point of having a fight, well, that might be. And what I'm thinking of particularly is, what if somebody's injured? Is that going to be covered, that injury going to be covered under your car insurance?
No, it will not be covered under car insurance. Car insurance is very specific about the things that it covers. If you do have a good insurance company that has an agent that can walk you through the coverages, you'll find out that insurance covers your vehicle pretty extensively, and injuries from an auto accident. But any injuries that are sustained in a road rage incident with a fight with someone wouldn't be classified as an auto accident.
And in a case like this, if thankfully this didn't happen, but if somebody had taken their car and hit somebody standing outside their car, now we're drifting into the range of a car accident incident.
Right. Correct.
In which case, we might have some exposure there with the car insurance. But in this case, because these people got out of their car, walked over to each other, and started swinging.
Right.
That's not going to be an incident where car insurance jumps in.
Right. very hard to say that the injury didn't occur while the fists were swinging through the air and contacting skin. That's hard to say. No, that happened from when he backed into me. This happened from when he punched me in the same area.
And that's interesting. We're going to jump ahead a little bit, but there is a point where people are inside a car that is hit, and there actually might be some coverage there. But what's likely going to happen in that case is the doctors are going to need to work out, what injury happened during the fight, what injury happened from the jolt of being struck, if any, and work it out that way.
Right. So certain things may be covered, not the punches, not the road rage, not any monetization from YouTube. What is actually covered?
Okay, well, the last incident in the video is the truck involved throwing it into reverse, hitting the gas, and smashing into the front part of the car. Now, the part of that that's not going to be covered is the truck backing up. The truck's insurance is most likely not going to pay liability coverage for doing that. And you're going to hear us talk about intentional acts over and over again in this web series. That's an intentional act, and intentional acts are not covered under your car insurance. You cannot just go barreling into people you don't like, cars you don't like that are in your way. The person at Jack in the Box pisses you off and you decide to take out part of their sign. These things, if they're intentional, are not covered. So what's likely going to happen in a claim situation, if this ever does get to claims, and I wouldn't file it, but the truck's insurance is probably going to deny this as an intentional act. So then the question is, what is the car's insurance? How does that play out there? And because it's a coverage denial, the car's insurance is going to need to investigate this for uninsured motorists. There's a little bit of a misunderstanding with uninsured motorists that it will only cover when the other car has just completely no insurance. But if that car has insurance, but there's a coverage denial for some reason, uninsured also can jump in at that point. So there's a real possibility of the car being covered under uninsured motorist for both injuries, if there are any, because of the accident, not because of the fight, but also the damage to the vehicle. Now, that being said, I just mentioned that I would not probably file that. What do you think?
Well, it depends on your deductible. Depends on if you want that on your record and have to pay a little bit more for the actions that resulted in the accident. And if you just want it to go away and move on, and lesson learned.
I was also thinking if you want to not go to jail.
Yes, that is also something you would have to consider. Considering
you did
that
get into a
there
fist
is
fight on a public street.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it was videoed in very good quality, and it did replicate itself pretty quickly on the internet.
So I think the long story short is, besides the insurance issues, there's a lot of legal, criminal possibilities that go along with road rage, and I think the damage to your car at that point is going to be the least of your worries. And so it would definitely be our professional advice as insurance professionals that you don't get out of your car and hit somebody. And I'm just going to make that a blanket statement that's almost never a good solution.
Very true. Don't do it. You may think about it. You may gesture like you're going to do it, but don't do it.
Well, thank y'all very much for watching, and this has been our first episode. We do plan to continue this in the future, so stay tuned, and I hope you have a good day.